beautiful friends. Thanks so much for tuning in. Yay, I get to get a video out for you guys. Baseball season is almost done, so yay, that's what's been keeping me very busy. But today I finally want to sit down and do a North American birds review for you guys. We finished it about 2 weeks ago. And we are already in our second week of a U.S. government right now. And I'm doing, this is all Gather Around Homeschool. If you didn't know, Gather Around Homeschool. So we finished North American birds. So I wanted to just answer some common questions that I've gotten and also just tell you what we thought about it and show you some things. So stay tuned. Okay, so one of the first questions that I usually get is how are we liking it? Do we enjoy it? Off the bat, yes, we are enjoying Gather Round as our unit study approach. It's so much fun. So first of all, doing North American birds is so great because it just kind of like is such a nice way of introducing the whole approach of how everything changes, how we're all sitting now on the table and doing this theme-like thing together. Now, before, I've done the unit study approach since March of this past year, but this is a lot different because I'm actually reading a script to the boys and we're doing activities differently according to their age, which is totally different to the way I used to do it before. So it is a different feel for us. And with North American birds, it just made it so much more easy. It was just fun. The kids really enjoyed learning about one bird a day. And just looked forward to learning about another bird the next day and so forth. We have about 7 to 8 birds here in our backyard from the unit, which is so much fun. So I think that made it even more interesting because when we would see the bird, we would just jump and, you know, kind of stalk the bird. It was so much fun. So that made it more interesting. And not just my backyard. I won't say just my backyard because we also like around the park where I am or yeah, so the parks that are next to my house or the areas around my home, we've seen about 7 to 8 birds from the unit. So that was a lot of fun. Another question that I get is it enough? Because it's a unit study approach, Rebecca says it's enough for including language arts, history, geography, art, science. It is enough, I think, in my opinion, too, if you do the extra activities. She has like a book list for each grade or each level. So there's tons of reading there that's like a little bit of Charlotte Mason approach there because you do reading and you learn by books. What else? Videos, if you watch the videos that are recommended for each lesson. What else? And like there's actually craft ideas or crafting things that we usually left for Fridays. So, and it's perfect because this is a curriculum that's for Monday to Thursday. So it leaves Friday open for activities, which is perfect for extra learning and so forth. So yes, I think it's enough. My kids learned so much. There was, in North American birds alone, I'll give you a few of the lessons that we learned. We learned about Parliament. We learned about Shakespeare, about the Olympics. We learned about trade and export, amongst many of the lessons. Even voting was in the North American birds. So that is kind of like the unit study approach because you're kind of like taking out from that one main idea and just kind of like opening like a onion, like peeling an onion. And layers and layers and layers. You can go as far as you want. So I think it's enough. Again, if you do the reading, the activities, or like the crafts that they recommend, or the videos that they recommend, I think it's enough. I've gotten this question too. Is it a lot of paper? So if you're printing it from home, I purchased the digital. So I am printing from home. But considering the fact that I'm not buying a language arts curriculum or a geography curriculum now, or a history curriculum, it's not a lot of paper at all. So here I'll show you exactly what it looks like when we're done. So it's all this. And this is all 3 boys with my teacher's guide. So if you consider not buying all those curriculums separate, it's not a lot of paper at all. And I also do print front and back for most of them. Like for example, JJ does a lot of coloring. He likes to use markers. So I try not to print his front and back anymore because it goes right through the next page. But other than that, It's perfect. I think it's not a lot of paper at all, and it's perfect. And then once you learn how to file it, this is my first one. So I'm kind of figuring how to file it away. Once I figure that out, I hope to share with you, how I'm going to file it away. Okay, so another question that I was getting is how long it takes. One of the mamas asked me how long it takes of my day. So we take about between 45 to about an hour and 10 minutes, depending on the lesson. But it's really not that long. And you really can get everything done between 45 to an hour. So it's not that long at all. Now, on the previous question, I forgot to mention, is it enough? I said yes, but I do add writing. I do add more writing practice. And there's also math that we're doing with teaching textbooks, so that's different. Reading practice and writing practice. My son JL is learning, still kind of getting cursive, getting used to cursive. And Jonah is learning cursive through Handwriting Without Tears. But other than that, I think it's great, and I think it's enough. So one of my favorite things, so now I want to share some of my favorite things about the Gather Round curriculum. One of them is the app. I love the app so much. It comes with all the links that you need per lesson. And there's chats, so moms that are doing the lesson are sharing what they're doing, or what they loved about it, or just sharing extra resources and extra ideas. So I love the app so much. So that's one of my favorite things. And because I get all my lessons prepared at night, the night before, I just kind of go through the app, look at the videos real quick, kind of skim through them, and have them ready for the next day for the boys. And it's great. I really love it. I love the app so much. The other thing I love is the book list. So for each level, she has a book list. So let me just show you. This is my teacher guide. So I'll show you a little bit here how it looks. So this is the middle and high school level. And this is the elementary and upper elementary, early elementary. So it just tells you what book she recommends. So I just go through my library and check what they have available, and I order a lot of the books from there. And we really have enjoyed a lot of the books that have been recommended. We've never heard of them, and we have loved some of these books. One of them was A Nest for Celeste, and this is a reader that I gave JL. I signed this reader to JL. That's one of the things I want to start doing, is assigning an actual reader for my middle schooler, so that he can be responsible for finishing that book and then just telling me all about it and kind of maybe answering some questions, or just maybe writing a book report, whatever. We're literally almost done with this book. It took longer. Again, baseball and life. Such a cute book. I love it. Such a perfect read. So I love the book list. It's great. It has wholesome books that I can totally trust and read to my kids. So I love that. And really quick, I wanted to show you some of our favorites. A Mother for Choco is a perfect adoption book. Love that book so much. And then Nerdy Birdie taught us about accepting differences. Love that one. And then, of course, An Egg is Quiet. The boys really enjoyed this one. Gather Round also has an FB or Facebook group, but I'm very new to it. So it's another great place to talk to other moms, kind of see what other people are doing, and just getting more ideas. So I really like the Facebook group too. Let's see. So right now I'm just going to show you inside their student workbooks. Just kind of give you a glimpse of what it looks like for each level, so you can see. And then I'll show you some of the books that we read. Oh, before I continue, I do want to say that for the older grades, they have to come up with, they do a writing assignment. So throughout the units, they have about 4 lessons that they focus on the writing assignment. So they learn proper grammar, punctuation, and all that. So that was a nice little touch that this unit had. And then JJ gets to do his little final book that he gets to read to you. So JJ has learned about 4 different sight words using this Gather Round, and they were love, my, I, and you. Those were their 4. Love, I, my, and you. Yes, so it says I love my family, I love my dog, and it's just this little cute little book that they get to read to you at the end of the unit. So I love that. It was such a cute touch. Okay, so this is JJ's, and he's my pre-reader. So I'm going to flip through it so you can kind of see some of the activities that he had done. Again, there were about 4 sight words. There's even some math sprinkled in here. There's cutting and pasting, tracing, and he does writing the letters. They concentrate on letters A through B. No, I'm sorry, A through D. And he also had some art. He had a draw. Actually, he had a color, a bird for each lesson. And so, yeah, this is what JJ's looks like. And now I'm going to show you JL's. So JL actually had a lot more to write. Of course, he's my middle schooler. That's part of his final writing assignment. He also illustrated it. He really enjoyed it. And then for him, his art was actually drawing it back. So it would show the bird on top, and he had to draw the bird as he saw it. So that was fun for him. He really liked to draw. And then for middle schoolers, they want them to actually use resources to get their information. So he was using my iPad to get his answers. For each bird, he had to come up with the habitat. And that's something we read as part of the lesson, but he had to put it into words. The habitat, the diet, and so forth, and look for other information in the iPad or any resources. He could have used a book or thesaurus. And also for his verses, he had to actually look them up on the Bible. That part I really liked because he got to really get acquainted with his Bible more. So now let's look at Jonah's. Jonah is my early reader. And the bird, he actually has to trace it. He has to do tracing of the verses. And there was more for him to write back as far as like tracing and stuff like that, so that he can practice his penmanship. There was mapping. A lot of Jonah's lessons were also very correlated with JL, so that made it easy for me to sit with them both while JJ was doing his little cutting and pasting or coloring. So that was fun. So they both have similar projects, and they have similar lessons. And here you get to see Jonah's writing assignment and what he had to come up with and so forth. He also had to illustrate his writing assignment, so that was fun. So yeah, this is what the early reader looks like. It's a lot less than JL's, but is very similar as far as the answers go. All right, you guys, so that's pretty much it. I'm going to show you some clips of us actually doing the gather round together that I have here on my phone. And then that's pretty much it. We love it. We're enjoying it. The next video I want to do is our U.S. government. So that is going well so far. But yeah, I won't say much because I want you to watch it. So hopefully I'll see you on the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Any questions, like I usually say, leave them down below, and I will talk to you in the comments. Thank you for watching.
Dog.
Okay.
Dog.
Doogie.
The dog.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Wyatt.
Wyatt.
Dog.
Now go sit on your chair.
Alright.
Okay, so herring gulls diet will change with where they are and what is available. When given a choice, they prefer marine invertebrates like crabs, sea urchins, and clams. Even though this is their favorite, it says food, it is not their primary source of nutrition. Instead, most of their calories, protein, and fat come from fish.